Good morning, guys. I'm back. I'm at Burton Constable again. They've just opened again yesterday after they have 2 weeks out of the year where they do all maintenance and tidy up and all that sort of thing. I'm on the bottom lake. Wind's coming at me, so I thought I would fish this like a double peg. It gives me a bit of room. It's slippery like ice, so I've put my chair back there and it gives me all this room for my rods. If I'm lucky enough to catch anything today, it can go on the unhooking mat and I've got plenty of room. It's looking absolutely beautiful this morning. Cold. I don't understand, there's no frost, but when I got up this morning it was 0. I think the fog's kept the frost away. Right, I am fishing 3 rods, all on dead baits, float fish dead baits, and I know from previous fishing trips here there's a small bed of weed about 2 rod lengths out, so what I'll probably do is just go past them, and there is extra water coming in from the top pond. So I might be lucky and have more than 2.5 foot of water. Right, I am going to get set up, and when I'm set up we'll have a chat. Right, the first one I'm going to put a smelt out. I am fishing, I do believe this is a size 1 circle hook. I'm putting it through its head because I've found that I get better hookups. They don't tend to drop it as much. I'm set probably about 3 foot, so that should be about perfect. Let a little bit of line out. Put one out there. Oh, I can't bloody see. Right, that registered. That was a smelt I put out. Oh. And here's another one. I trekked myself and got a third 10 foot black widow, because I had a pair but I was sick and tired of using a crappy old cheap rod as the third, so I thought, right, I got it off eBay and I got it for a bit of a bargain, 39 quid, which I was super happy with. I couldn't get the reel I wanted because I was after the Akuma Dyno Drag there, so I got a Daiwa, which seems okay. It's a size 3000 because I don't like them great big. I don't see the point in them huge cap like 8000s and stuff like that. It baffles me. Right, what we got here? Ooh, I think that's a skimmer. That looks like a skimmer. Definitely looks like a skimmer. It's got black fins. There's a slightly bigger fish as well. Lovely. As you all probably know now, I don't use big baits. I'm not fishing far out, so I don't need 3.5 pound test curve rods and stuff like that. I'm fishing a couple of rod lengths out. That drag seems okay. Yeah. And this one I might just put a little bit further if I can get it there. yeah, that reel looks fine. Oh, and the final one. Oh, me old one. Well, when I say old, they're a couple of years old, but they're fantastic. So if you're after a cheap carp rod, what you can also use for a bit of pike fishing, these Daiwa Black Widow rods are absolutely fantastic. I like to go for the 10 foot. I don't like the big 12 and 13 foots. I'm not on massive reservoirs casting out 100 plus yards or 80 yards and stuff like that. Just get my reel set up. So yeah, I really don't see the need for big heavy 3.5 pound rods in that. Do I go with a roach? What have I got on? A smelt? What else have I got in here? I think this is a mixed bag, to be honest. Oh, that's a sprat. But I'll put a roach on. Or is that another skimmer? Actually, I think I'll go with a sprat. And then it gives me a good selection, doesn't it? These bloody hooks are super sharp, I know that. Oh. Should have brought my glasses, because I cannot see what the hell I'm doing. No, it's on. And I'll drop this one down to the left. Oh. I know there's a small bed of weed here somewhere, but the water's clouded up quite a lot, a bit of colour. So I'll try it out there. It's a bit hit and miss. I can't see the bloody line. Right, that's working. Right. Oh, there we go, we're all set up. I absolutely love these little floats I bought. I got them off eBay. A pack of 5. There's 2 20 gram and 3 15 gram floats. And they've got a tube in the top where you can put a nightlight in. And for a set of 5, I think they was £10.99, so say 11 quid. Absolutely brilliant. Right, just got to be careful on here. It's a bit slippery and it's dry. Oh, right. Oh, that's done now. That's fine. Oh, right. I need that. Clean my hands. Is that another cormorant? Right, let's have a look then. 8:15 now, so that's not bad. All set up. Oh, it's just so good to be out. It really is. Oh, I mean, the old depression got hold of me, and the last 2 months have been not the best, shall we say. But, and in that time as well, I had a tribunal at court over my PIP, because DWP stopped it, what, nearly 15 months ago, so I've been fighting it. And the anxiety in that, and oh, it's been horrendous. But I actually won. So that feels like a great weight has been taken off my shoulders. Because it hadn't been easy losing that money, which I did depend on. I've been selling stuff to be able to get gas and electric in that. So it hadn't been fun. But hopefully when they get it all sorted out, I'll get a nice little back payment for 15 months and then know that I'll have some cash going into the bank as well. Because what they actually pay a couple is absolutely disgusting. Because our lass isn't able to work. She's got COPD. She can't even leave the house, poor sod. She hasn't been out in nearly 2 years. So I've managed to get her a wheelchair, so as it gets warmer, I'm going to get her out and just bull her around a little bit so she gets out. Yeah. So it's very hard and very taxing dealing with DWP. So like I've said, I've had no money personally for myself for the last 15 months. I've also been looking after the missus, which I do anyway, but I haven't claimed carer's allowance or anything like that. So all we've had coming in is our ESA, which I do believe is something like £130 a week for a couple. So it's not easy, especially like when we're going through £30-40 a week on gas and electric. And then Harry's working, so I charge him board, and because he's working, we've got to pay full rent, so what he pays board goes on the rent. So it's not easy. Right, I will stop ranting. Oh, there's some activity there just past my float, some bubbles coming up, and I know a lot of people are like, what's he on about, bubbles coming up? But you'll be surprised when pike are looking at a deadbait, what's on the bottom, and I know I'm on the bottom because I'm fishing sort of 3 foot deep and it's only 2.5 foot deep. They move around the bait and look at it and play with it, and you don't even get an indication, but they sort of catch the bottom with their mouths, or their body, and it releases bubbles, like very like what a carp would when a carp's on your bait. So if you're ever dead baiting and you get little bubbles coming up around your float, keep an eye out on it, because when I've seen it, I've usually gotten a bite within 10 minutes. I'm not saying I'm going to get a bite straight away, but it would be nice. Yeah, like I said, it's been a struggle just getting out, but I've managed it, and I'm so glad I have. Now I can actually sit back and relax and chill out and just watch the world go by and not worry too much. Harry's here today with me. He's gone on the heavy lure setup. I think he's got a big soft plastic which is about 10 inches long and probably weighs about 40-50 gram, couple of ounces, and he's lobbing that around. But for me, unfortunately, it's the dead baiting, because of me, I've got COPD as well, and I just ain't got it in me to walk around the pond and continuously casting and that. I just can't do it anymore. It's a pity. So it's a case of put the deads out and sit behind the rods, but I don't mind. I absolutely love dead baiting, so I'm quite happy to. And hopefully in the next week or so I'll be able to get back on drain. I checked this morning and it's still a foot above level, which means that where I usually sit on the peg is underwater. But hopefully if we don't get any rain, sort of Thursday, Friday, it might be back below levels, and then it needs to dry out a bit, otherwise you're standing in like 4 inches of mud. Well, it's 9:15 now, so I think I'll have a recast. Nothing's been happening yet on any of the rods. And see if they come back clean, so that I'm not sitting on any weed. Yep, that's nice. This is the skimmer bream one. Nice and clean. And the other one, I'll leave the other one as is. Right. So I'm oh, let's see if I can get down. I'm recasting sort of every half an hour, 40 minutes. There's been plenty of little fish topping, which is nice to see. So we'll sort of see how it goes. Alright, I think it's time for a coffee, and if anything happens, oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't. Amateur. God dear. So if I had taken this out of going, if I didn't see it on the float, at least it'll signal on the alarms. That's the only reason I use them when I'm float fishing, because I end up daydreaming watching the wildlife, because it is very hard to sit in and watch your float constantly. You know, you look up and look around, watch the birds and that. So if a fish does take and it sneaks off, at least the alarms will go. Right, I think it's time for a coffee. I think it's getting a little bit warmer. According to my watch, it's 3 degrees now. Very light wind, southwesterly. I decided to come here because it is sort of blowing into my face a bit, and I'm under the assumption that the fish do follow the wind. I know that the silvers try and find the deeper holes, but there's not many on this lake. It's sort of 2 to 3 foot everywhere you go. If you go out towards the middle, it is slightly deeper, but not a lot. But like where I'm fishing, a couple of rod lengths out, I'm on bottom at 3 foot. Next time I come, I might go back in the swim up what I cleared over there by the island. I might need to bring the rake again and just have a rake through, but at the minute it's very, very hard to see because of the water coming in. There's a pipe down here, groundwater's coming in, so it's going to be cold water as well. The top lake is higher than this lake, so when that gets so high, under the bridge itself there's like a little waterfall, like a mini weir, and it flows over into this one, because usually this is absolutely gin clear. You can see the bottom and you see everything, but it's a bit of a struggle today. Only seen 2 cormorants so far this morning. Usually there's 4 or 5 working the pond. I'm just sat here looking at me setup, and the stuff you can get now for very little price is amazing. I'm just looking at this here now. I've got 3 Daiwa 10-foot Black Widow rods, 2-pound test curve, 3 3000 size reels, NGT pod, whatever you call it, and 3 alarms. And I've just been working it out, everything all in, and it's all new. The 2 Akuma reels I bought second hand for 45 quid for the pair, and everything else is new. The alarms was 3 for 12 quid. The NGT tripod thingy was 20 quid, and that full setup with the line, everything, was 220 quid. So like, if you're just getting into it and you want to buy some gear, just buy 2 rods or 1 rod to get you started for carping or piking. You can't go wrong. You don't need to spend £400 or £500 on a rod and a reel because it's a Daiwa, whatever it is, at the gold stupid prices. It all works. And if you're fishing small ponds and that, you don't need 3.5 pound test curve rods, because you're not punching out 100 yards. It's like with dead baiting. I fish with small baits or like half sardines. I very rarely fish with full size sardines and mackerel and that, and I've done well on them. I've had 24-pound pike, 17, 15s, 16s, 14s, 12s. I've had God knows how many, all on small sprats or little roach, smelt. You know, they're not massive fish, so you don't need a rod that's capable of casting out a 4-ounce dead bait. If you're not fishing that style, if you're on big reservoirs and you're pumping it out 80 yards, yeah. But like this place, I mean, it's big, but you don't need to put your baits out 60 yards and stuff like that. Yeah, so just giving you an idea, like a 3-rod setup with everything to get you on the bank ready, just over 200 quid. And it's an absolute bargain, you can't go wrong. And it's the same with the nets. It's a Dinsmore, I think, 42-inch net. I think I paid a grand, total of 15 quid for the net. The landing at Handle I've had for about 20 years, which cost me about 8 quid. Still going strong. So it just goes to show you don't have to spend a fortune. Here's Harry on his way back. Don't know if he's had out. Any joy? Lost one. Big un. 20, 22. What was that on? Top water or on that? Like I say, if you can, you want to triad along there where the bridge is, there's been a lot of silvers topping. I think it's got coda, don't you?
It's certainly colder.
Yeah.
That reel, obviously because of the line goes straight through it, it just dumps water on your hands. So that mixed with the cold breeze of the doctors.
Yeah.
No fun.
Yeah, I've sat here and I thought, yeah, it's definitely getting colder. There's a lot of silvers over that far bank. There was 2 of them in the water, and as they were going that way, you could see the line they were leaving. There was silvers topping all over there, so I can only assume they were trying to get away. What do you want to do? Hey? Are you going to give that a bash over there when you warm up a bit? Right guys, not happening today, so I'm going to wrap up. Like I said, it's just good to be out. It's been such a long time, so hopefully I'll be able to get out and get a few more videos done, and then see if we can catch some fish. Right, and don't forget, if you like the videos, hit that like button, subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you.